Welcome to Code 3 Debacled. In this video we'll be testing different infantry matchups post the patch 1.20. I was inspired to make this video after there was a lot of reporting about weak Stoßtruppen, so I just wanted to initially test how that was going, and then I got sidetracked and did some more. So we're going to start off with vanilla Stoßtruppen versus vanilla Rifleman. The damage curve graph showing us that it's going to be a pretty uneven matchup with Stoßtruppen coming out in the lead at all ranges. Stoßtruppen having their MG42s and G43s, and the Riflemen with their M1 Grenadiers. You might notice some troops were assigned to the wrong side, so just a quick reset. Pretty expected results. You're going to want to retreat your Riflemen if they're coming up against a Stoßtruppen. Next up we're going to have a look at how the double bar Riflemen handle the Stoßtruppen, with both of them having Veterancy 3. The damage curve showing us that Stoßtruppen should have the edge at all ranges. However, there is no ability to put in veterancy for each unit. While we're waiting for this engagement to shape up, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my 2v2 partner and opponents who inadvertently appeared in this video because I forgot to turn my overlay off. The double bars holding their own a little bit better at short range, seeming to get a few more models on the Stoßtruppen, but they will still eventually lose that battle. Of course, this is just a straight brute force head-to-head with no special abilities or grenades activated, but this test shows us that you do want to disengage your Stoßtruppen if they're coming within about 10 range, otherwise you will take disproportionate amount of manpower losses. Maybe in the future I might get some tests done with one unit running into cover, but yeah, if you were approaching sandbags last as Stoßtruppen, you might lose that close engagement. Next up we're going to take a look at the Special Service Force Commandos by the United States Army, newly buffed with 110 HP, versing off against the Stoßtruppen. Both of them having Veterancy 3, as you can see by the damage curves. The SSF come out ahead early, and then the intersection point roughly about 9 meters, 10 meters before SSF will start losing out, and that's reflected pretty well in our testing of the SSF ending up with 125 HP per model due to the Veterancy buffs as well. So you can theoretically get an SSF Commando to 135 HP per model if you also give them the Infantry Support Center upgrades, which is wild. To put that into perspective, that means 810 HP across the whole squad, when both the M4 Sherman and the Panzer IV have 720 HP. So we're focusing mostly on the 20 range engagement because that is where it seems to be the closest. Stoßtruppen eventually winning 2 of the 3 engagements, with the Commandos coming away with 1.
Infantry KIA.
So to summarise, the other 2 ranges, SSF easily winning the close, and Stoßtruppen easily winning the far range engagement. Back to the Riflemen now. We're looking at how they match up against Wehrmacht's Jaegers. They're upgraded with the reconnaissance package, which weaponizes them with 2 scoped G43 rifles, the Riflemen only having a single bar. As we look at the intersection point of the damage curves, Jaegers should start to win at about 24 range. As we're watching the fight evolve, riflemen seem to be doing not as well as we thought at close range, with the health pretty even in 2 of the 3 engagements. Jaegers actually winning 2 of the 3 mid-range engagements as well, so the damage curves here not quite matching up with RNG. But as I said, that the rate of fire of the bars have overcome the scoped G43s at 10 range.
Receiving reports of a squad. They're KIA.
Now we're going to take a look at how an extra bar fares with the engagement against the Jaegers, with the damage curve telling us that 25 range should be the intersection point where Jaegers will start to win the engagement. The damage curve seems to be pretty spot on, with riflemen taking the early lead in close to mid-range engagements with the extra bar. So if you manage to keep the Jaegers at long range, you will win the engagement, but as soon as the riflemen start to close, you're going to want to get out of there and back up into your MG42 or other squads.
Infantry has been killed. We've lost a squad.
This engagement's dragging on so long that the United States Army has dispatched an ambulance to carry away the casualties. Now we're going to take a look and see how veterancy factors into the engagement. Jaegers will get the ambush tactics bonus to damage and accuracy for 5 seconds. The first set of Jaegers in the far range engagement did not want to fire at 30 range, so I had to do a quick tactical pause and manually command them to do so. If RNG was kind to them in those first 5 seconds, Jaegers did seem to do quite well and pull away with an early health advantage. As the engagement continues, however, the double bars do seem to be doing the damage with a higher rate of fire, and Jaegers starting to lose out at close and mid-range. But Jaegers are keeping it pretty tight in the mid-range engagement, seemingly winning 2 of the 3. The bar audio seems to be bugging out, but the animations are still there, and they do seem to be firing. So the major difference between Veterancy and vanilla units is that Jaegers do seem to get the advantage at mid-range a little bit better and come away with 1 engagement, pretty close second. It seems to be down to that ambush RNG. Now we're going to have a look at the MP40 Grenadiers and single bar riflemen at a 10 range engagement, which is not going to be ideal for the MP40s. As you can see by the damage curve here, they start to drop off at about 8 meters. In Co3stats.com's DPS calculator, there was no option for a Grenadier MP40, so I've substituted the Gustatory MP40, which seems to have a fairly similar profile from the testing. No surprises here, keeping your MP40s at this range is a bad idea. You definitely want to close the distance, which is what we're going to have a look at now. So the Riflemen and MP40s right on top of each other. Riflemen still equipped with only a single bar. MP40s seeming to suffer from that 5% close range debuff. Still not a good idea, but you've definitely got a bit more time to get out of there as the US player. This matchup is the same as before, on a bit of a bigger scale, with Riflemen now having the double bars. damage curve showing us that Rifleman should definitely have the advantage.
Receiving reports of a squad. They're KIA. We've lost a squad.
Surprisingly, Grenadiers nearly come away with 2 engagements here, which seems to be down to RNG and how far away the bar models are, and if they get killed and have to swap over. So this is the same matchup, but with Veterancy. Again, the limitation of the DPS calculator does not allow us to model veteran units. Through this test we find similar results, with the Grenadiers coming away with 2 of the 8 engagements, roughly a 25% chance to win, so you may not always need to retreat them. I wanted to see how much RNG was a factor in this matchup, so I decided to run the test again and see if we could get another roughly 25% win rate.
Infantry has been killed. Germans just killed some of our infantry.
So again, very close, seeming to be down to RNG as to which model holding the bar, and if they get wiped, Grenadiers coming away with 2 of the 8 engagements again. Now we're going to change gears and get a little more Mediterranean flavour. We've got Rommel's Deutsche Afrika Korps Panzergrenadiers up against Her Majesty's finest Infantry Sections. Our testing is at all ranges, with this massive engagement including 6 close quarter combat engagements as well. All units are vanilla with no veterancy or upgrades. Our damage curve showing us that Panzergrenadiers will fall off after about 15 range. Straight away we see some brutalizing by the Panzergrenadiers of the sections at close range, so definitely an engagement you do not want to take as the UK forces player. It's fairly advantageous to the Panzergrenadiers at mid-range 20 range engagement as well. I'm just wondering if the damage curve has been updated for 1.20. Same engagement again, but the Panzergrenadiers have squad leaders and the UK forces have the training centre infantry upgrade. This match up was really tricky to pull off. It took a lot of neutralising and making sure I got the right order of making the base friendly or foe. Otherwise I'd end up with 7-man Panzergrenadiers or British infantry sections that got a double helping of reduced received accuracy. Unfortunately, the DPS calculator does not allow us to model veteran squad leaders or the training centre upgrade. As you can probably tell, the extra star of veterancy for the sections gives them the advantage at all ranges. Even sections winning the close range, which is quite surprising. So as the DAK player, if you suddenly see all of your opponent's infantry have a star of vet, you definitely want to be more cautious going into your engagements. This testing did not include the close quarters combat. Levelling the playing field a little bit more, I decided to give the Panzergrenadiers 1 star of vet, but as you will see, it did not help too much, as the increased rate of fire of the sections really helps them to pull away, with even the sections winning some of the close quarter engagements, which should be in favour of the DAK player. Sections having no damage fall off at range, handily winning most of the engagements with the increased rate of fire. So we're looking at the same scenario again, except the Panzergrenadiers are starting at Vet 2 and the sections are just having their training center upgrade. So this is more of an ideal engagement for the DAK player. What I found from the previous tests is that the sections would hit Vet 2 pretty early, and then they would start to win those engagements with the extra accuracy and other bonuses that it brings. We're really starting to see the Panzergrenadiers wins the close quarters and the close range engagements, which is good to see. Sections still doing okay at 20 and 30 range.
Infantry section killed. We've lost communication with one of us.
So as we fast forward through the carnage, you can see Panzergrenadiers winning at 10 range consistently and sections winning at 20 and 30. And Panzergrenadiers winning comfortably in close quarters, so definitely want to get them nice and close against sections. On to our final engagement now. Tried to level the playing field as much as I could, so both squads will start at Vet 3. These engagements were a bit frustrating as I needed to reset them up every time to set them up with the squad leaders and training center active. So it's pretty even at close quarters, but favours sections at all other ranges. Unfortunately, the testing in the far left was invalidated by a new sandbag placement and the sections firing over 35 range. I hope you've enjoyed the infantry comparison on patch 1.20. If you've stuck around this long, thanks for watching. I want to do a quick shout out to WhiteFlash Reborn for making the test range map. If you want to do your own testing, you can get it from the Steam workshop. I hope to make some more videos in the future, so like and subscribe if you want to see it.